Scorpio, welcome to your weekly reading for August the 29th to September the 4th. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Keeping in mind these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. Check out your other placements because you could have messages there. All right, my friends, let's see what is the energy around this week ahead for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What is the energy around this week for Scorpio? Message in a bottle. Change in the winds. Orphans. All of these are coming out in reverse for you this week, Scorpio. And bottom of the deck is round and round, also in reverse. So that is a week of some challenging stuff. Let's have a look at this. So message in the bottle here, when it appears in the reverse, it's sort of a time where there may be a difficult conversation that needs to happen, right? Or you may be anticipating a difficult conversation. This conversation could catalyze a big change. Something could go from making you feel like you were rejected to healing that again. And I almost feel like you're preparing for this conversation, you're anticipating this conversation, you're sort of at a place where you might be questioning, why am I here again? Why am I coming back to this? This kind of feels like something from the past that may have hurt you in the past. And now it's almost like something has shifted within that dynamic, and it feels like either you're anticipating communication or you're going to be the one to make the move and communicate with something. There could be something that you're not wanting to necessarily acknowledge. You could be seeing some signs that are causing you to sort of think, no, that can't be it. And you might be overlooking things. So, sometimes when this message in the bottle card appears reversed like this, it can be that there's something that's not sitting right with you, and you can't ignore it, right? It's you might be wanting to ignore it because it hurt you in the past, but something has shifted. There's been a change here, and you might not realize that. It might be that the energy around maybe the other person involved in this, something has changed. Like there's been this unexpected change or unexpected shift in a dynamic that once made you feel really rejected, and now it's almost like you're preparing for it to come round again, or you're preparing to re-enter some dynamic from the past. It's very interesting to see these cards come out in reverse. Makes me wonder, we'll jump into the tarot cards in a moment here to see, but it kind of makes me wonder if this is a dynamic that involved a person, an opportunity, an experience. It's interesting. There's something here that could suggest that you're coming back to something that you used to really think about a lot. Like this was a big part of your life. And this chop wood card in reverse kind of makes me think that you've thought about this conversation a lot. You've sort of imagined it in your mind and thought to yourself, how would it ever go if we were to talk again? Or if I were to see that person again, what would happen? And it almost feels like that's what we're going to look at today. It almost feels like something has shifted in a dynamic from the past. And this dynamic, when it originally sort of was at play, it made you feel left out. You felt rejected. You felt like you didn't belong anymore. That's why I'm wondering if it was like an experience or a group of people or a singular person. I think it'll be different for all of you, but it's interesting to see all those oracle cards in reverse because I don't see that often. So this is something that's coming about, and it might have been on your mind and you might have been ignoring that as a sign. I think that this is going to feel kind of sudden when it happens. Scorpio, this is interesting. Let's see what the tarot cards have to say about this. Ace of Rods. Yeah, like this is a new beginning that you feel very much on board with this. I think if there's a new way, if there's a way to bring this past situation into the now, look at that, Ace of Wands and the Nine of Cups. I mean, this is something that you have wanted. This is something that hurt you in the past, but it has been a bit of a thing in your mind that says that's my desire. That's would be very fulfilling to me. Something would be very fulfilling to you, and it feels like it's on its way back. Let's see here. You're going to have options, and I think you're in a place right now where you're very cool and collected. You know, you see the Seven of Cups. You don't realize that you're this close to this being fulfilled. You might think that, you know, it's the same old story with this situation, but it's not. And I think that when you encounter this moment, I think it might even surprise you how cool things are. Like, it might have been very, what's the word? Like, when this happened originally, there was nothing cool about it. It was explosive. It was emotional. There was a lot of hurt feelings here. And the conversation went sideways really fast. And so it's interesting. It's almost like you might think, oh, it'll be the same. You know, nothing's changed. But I think there's been considerable change here. Things seem very cool. And you have options, but it's interesting. I think that you're going to get a shot at what you would consider your desire in this scenario. There's the Page of Swords. So it's almost like there's going to be a moment where it won't just be talk. Like there's a difference here. Something really shifted. It might not have been fair. You might have thought of this situation and thought whatever happened wasn't fair. It wasn't balanced. There was a lack of virtue in it. It just, you know, it might have even been something that you held on to and thought, I wish that had gone differently, right? A part of you doesn't quite trust that a new beginning is possible, but you know, if it resonates with you now when it comes back, if it's in balance, I think that's your fear here, is that you won't be able to be authentic with this person, and that you've almost gone to great lengths to sort of bring yourself to a place where you feel content and peaceful. And there's a part of you wondering if this will disrupt that, you know. But it's interesting seeing the Lovers in reverse and now the Ace of Cups with the Four of Wands here. Wow, Scorpio. You know, this is a situation where I almost feel like the parties have changed a lot in separation from one another. And now you're getting this opportunity to see this come alive again. And things have really changed. Things aren't the way that they were the first go around with this person, with this experience. I feel like there was a lack of balance initially, and that's sort of where you're thinking it's going to stay. Like, well, we weren't in sync, and there's nothing here to make me think that we could ever be in sync again. You know, that imbalance might have been caused because someone wasn't able to take responsibility for their actions, or someone wasn't able to feel authentic in the communication that was happening. There might have been some secrets here. There might have been some dishonesty initially, but it's like it's all shifted. And now, if you're going to go for it, it's almost like you have to see the bigger picture of this and not focus solely on what those imbalances were. because it's like you'd have to leave the past in the past here, Scorpio, if you're going to go for it. And seeing the Ace of Cups, you've got the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups. I mean, even though you might not trust this new beginning necessarily because you're sort of focused on where things went wrong and you're looking at the risk of trusting this person again or this experience again, you have, you know, a lot of beautiful energy around this connection. You've got the Four of Wands on the bottom of the deck, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Rods. It's like something has turned around in this dynamic. You know, Scorpio, honestly, this feels like something is returning because it's learned. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes we teach each other these lessons through experiences that are painful, and then we learn, and then, you know, sometimes people come back together again. That's what this feels like. This feels like there was some sort of friendship or union, could have been romantic, could have been friendship, could have been a group of friends. Something happened and that dissolved, and when it dissolved, it didn't seem fair. There was a lack of trust. Something happened to the trust. There was an imbalance in, can I be myself around this person? And the answer was no. And it was like there was a lot of ways this could have went down, but it ended in a way that felt like rejection to both parties, I would suspect. And now things have balanced out a bit. Something has shifted with time. And so you're being brought back around to this, and you yourself might even be questioning, why am I back here again? There may be something here for you still. This is very interesting, Scorpio. Let's see here to close your reading. What do you need to surrender or surrender to? Ooh, those came out very quickly. We see surrender your ego. Interesting. Surrender your ego, cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. Surrendering your ego in this situation could be like not letting your pride get in the way. It could be looking at this through fresh eyes so that you can have this conversation and look at what's changed and almost sort of get ready to what's the word I'm looking for? Like re-involve yourself in this dynamic, but to see how much it's changed. I think you're going to have a lot of reason for celebration very soon, actually. And we see surrender, wonder, and awe. Open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in your life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. Very interesting. I can't help but think that this is something that, you know, you've been thinking about this. This hasn't left your thoughts completely, but I think you made your assessment of it and that's where it stood. And now something has shifted, but it's you might not realize it's shifted. It almost feels like there's distance between these individuals, like physical distance. And maybe it's just that you haven't seen or talked in a long time, but there's been a significant break. And now it feels like a new beginning is possible. It's so exciting. Very interesting reading for you, Scorpio. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this has been helpful. I look forward to reading for you again very soon. Sending you so much love and light. Take care.